Urgent! Chiefs Kingdom fan, look at what just happened. Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we bring you daily videos with the latest Chiefs Kingdom news, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Breaking Chiefs on the brink of huge trade report. The Kansas City Chiefs felt what it's like to get humiliated in the Super Bowl for the second time in the last 5 years. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers demolished the Chiefs 3-19 in Super Bowl LV, while the Philadelphia Eagles did the same in 2025. Kansas City knows that a few roster moves will be necessary to re-cement themselves atop of the NFL world. One of those moves could be coming in the next few days. Breaking Chiefs on the brink of huge trade report following a humiliating loss to the Philadelphia Eagles in Super Bowl 59. The Kansas City Chiefs are reportedly considering a blockbuster move in next week's NFL Draft. Andy Reid and the Chiefs hold the number 31 selection in the 2025 NFL Draft, with the Super Bowl champion Eagles slated to close out round 1 with the number 32 pick. But if the Chiefs get their way, they'll pick earlier than 31st. According to ESPN's Matt Miller, Kansas City is actively looking to trade up in round 1. Miller reports that if the Chiefs were to move up, it would likely be for a long-term offensive tackle, specifically to get ahead of the Houston Texans and Los Angeles Rams. I've heard that the Kansas City Chiefs are actively looking to trade up in round 1. They signed left tackle Jaylon Moore in free agency, but were otherwise quiet, opting to resign their own versus hitting the open market. A move up in round 1 would likely be for a long-term offensive tackle solution. I heard the goal would be to move in front of the Houston Texans number 25 and Los Angeles Rams number 26, if the Chiefs like a specific left tackle still on the board. The Kansas City Chiefs moved up in round 1 of last year's draft, obtaining the number 28 pick from the Buffalo Bills to select speedy wideout Xavier Worthy. The Bills got the number 32 selection as part of the return, though they traded down to number 33 in another deal with the Carolina Panthers. Kansas City GM Brett Veach traded superstar guard Joe Thuney to the Chicago Bears in a surprise move, opening up one void on the O-line. The team also has to make room to extend Trey Smith, who was assigned the franchise tag. The Chiefs have 8 total draft picks in the 2025 draft, number 31, 63, 66, via the Tennessee Titans in the Algeria Sneed trade, 95, 133, 226, 251, and 257. The Chiefs had one of the league's best offensive lines from 2021 to 2024, but the unit was absolutely exposed in their 40-22 blowout loss to Philadelphia in the Super Bowl. Replacing Joe Thuney's consistent production is easier said than done, and veteran offensive tackle Jawan Taylor has been a liability. So would it be a surprise if Kansas City didn't address the O-line in the early rounds of next week's draft? Pausing this news just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest Chiefs Kingdom news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks. Now let's get back to the news. Former Chief is clear reunion candidate just before draft. The Kansas City Chiefs have tried to adapt after falling in the Super Bowl back in February. While most teams have made significant additions to their team, the Chiefs are trying to hold on to what they have, using the franchise tag on Trey Smith and navigating the top dollar contracts of Patrick Mahomes and Chris Jones. But for all the financial gymnastics that are going on in Kansas City, they still need to make improvements. One of those areas is at cornerback, where Trent McDuffie is looking for a contract extension, and Christian Fulton and Shamari Connor are projected starters. After Jalen Watson's injury made things challenging, the Chiefs would benefit from some depth, clearing the way for a reunion candidate just before the NFL Draft. Chiefs should reunite with Kendall Fuller. Just before NFL Draft, the Chiefs have an old friend that can help in cornerback Kendall Fuller. Known as the additional piece in the trade that sent Alex Smith to the Washington Commanders and cleared the path for Mahomes to take the starting job, Fuller was expected to become a top corner and lead Kansas City into the future. Fuller's time wasn't a complete disaster, but it fell short of expectations. He spent 2 seasons with the Chiefs before going back to Washington and turned into a ball hawk with 10 interceptions over the next 4 years. The 30-year-old parlayed that into a 2-year deal with the Dolphins and allowed 27 catches for 316 yards and a touchdown on 43 targets last season, but was surprisingly released in February. With Fuller still on the free agent market, he makes sense for Kansas City. While they could go into the season with what they have at cornerback and have 8 picks to add 1 in next week's draft, They have more pressing issues, including pass rusher, offensive tackle, and running back. Fuller would also cost less than the $7.5 million annual figure he signed for last year and may have a final act in the NFL. It doesn't mean that Fuller's return to Kansas City is imminent, but it's something the Chiefs should consider as they look to climb back to the top of the NFL next season. Chiefs analyst identifies hidden gem RB fit with speed that rivals Tyreek Hill. The Kansas City Chiefs are expected to select a running back in the 2025 NFL Draft, but after listening to General Manager Brett Veach address the media on April 17th, it sounds like KC is willing to wait until day 2 or 3 of the draft to find another ball carrier. Veach took multiple opportunities to praise the depth of the 2025 RB class earlier this week, as many have throughout the pre-draft process, and he's right. This class is loaded with talent, and that means a sleeper running back can be found in a later round. On April 16th, KSHB 41 media member and analyst Nick Jacobs identified his best fits for the Chiefs at running back, and the more under-the-radar selection was SMU playmaker Brashard Smith. For those that are unfamiliar with Jacobs' work, every year he scouts the incoming draft class, determining best fits for Kansas City's offensive and defensive system. He then lists 2 fits for each position, 1 favorite and 1 hidden gem. The latter is typically a prospect that could fall to a lower round, like Smith. Smith is arguably one of the most explosive running backs in this draft, Jacobs began his explanation. He has speed that appears to rival Tyreek Hill on coach's film in his stop and restart. Smith can also stretch out a defense and provides a wicked spin move to go with it. The KC analyst concluded that Smith is a former wide receiver who already knows how to run great routes and can hit the turbo boost in the open field. Brashard Smith's explosiveness ranked top 10 in 2024. Jacobs stated that Smith is arguably one of the most explosive running backs in this draft, but that distinction is actually statistically proven. According to Pro Football Focus, Smith's breakaway run percentage 43, one ranked 9th for all of college football RBs that played a minimum 50 of snaps. Some of the other members of this 2025 draft class that ranked above Smith in this area were Iowa's Caleb Johnson, 56. 1. Kansas State's DJ Giddens, 54. 9. Boise State's Ashton Jeanty, 52. 6. UCF's RJ Harvey, 52. 4. And North Carolina's Omarion Hampton, 43. 9. PFF's data also displays that Smith is more of a zone runner than a gap runner, with 142 zone runs in 2024 compared to just 85 gap runs. Smith's yards after contact average and PFF elusive rating didn't rank as strongly as his breakaway percentage, but they weren't bad either. His average 3. 34 yards after contact ranked 22nd for college RBs, as did his elusive rating of 77. 1. Smith should also add a lot as a receiver, as Jacobs alluded. His 337 receiving yards ranked 14th for all collegiate running backs last year, and his 69 yards per reception ranked 2nd among RBs that played 50 of snaps. Jacobs' favorite NFL draft fit for Chiefs at running back is Omarion Hampton, as noted. Above, Jacobs also determined the best overall NFL draft fit for the Chiefs at running back. Let's say all rounds are in play. For that honor, he chose the aforementioned Hampton, a likely first or high second rounder. Hampton is a home run hitting back, Jacobs wrote. He has the ideal size, balance, and acceleration to succeed. His lower legs have the necessary power to break through poor tackles, and his jump cut and acceleration out of it are impressive for his size. Hampton looks smooth as a pass catcher in the open field. The only 2 scenarios where the Chiefs land Hampton is in round 1, either at number 31 overall or via trade up, or early round 2 if Kansas City were to trade down. Veach discussed the idea of trading out of the first round earlier this week. Chiefs could steal Texans' ideal C.J. Stroud protector, with latest NFL draft buzzets rumored that the Kansas City Chiefs will trade above the Texans in the NFL draft and take a coveted target. As the 2025 NFL draft approaches, teams are eager to strengthen their rosters. The latest buzz, for example, has the Kansas City Chiefs trading with the Minnesota Vikings to move up and secure the 24th pick in the draft, just 1 pick ahead of the Houston Texans. The reason behind this move? They want to select a player who can help protect their franchise quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. Kansas City Chiefs could spoil the Houston Texans' draft plans. ESPN draft analyst Matt Miller started the buzz in his latest article about trader rumors surrounding the NFL draft. I've heard that the Kansas City Chiefs are actively looking to trade up in round 1, Miller wrote. They signed left tackle Jalen Moore in free agency but were otherwise quiet, opting to resign their own versus hitting the open market. A move up in round 1 would likely be for a long-term offensive tackle solution. I heard the goal would be to move in front of the Houston Texans number 25 and Los Angeles Rams number 26, if the Chiefs like a specific left tackle still on the board. The Chiefs, who currently sit at number 31, are no strangers to moving up in the NFL draft. They did it last year when they took Xavier Worthy, and in 2022 when they drafted Trent McDuffie. Texans could still have a great backup plan at number 25-1. Issue persists, at least from Houston's perspective. The Chiefs doing so would potentially disrupt the Texans' draft strategy. If the Chiefs did move up to the 24th pick, they would likely intend to select the best available offensive lineman, who is projected to be Kelvin Banks Jr. from Texas. Many mock drafts had Banks going to the Texans, as the team was looking to prioritize protecting its quarterback. Last year, C.J. Stroud was sacked 52 times, the second most in the NFL. This offseason, the Texans traded away star left tackle Laramie Tunsil, so strengthening the offensive line is likely a focus for Houston with its 25th pick. However, given the rumors that the Chiefs may move up one spot above them, the Texans could need to adjust their draft strategy and focus on improving other areas. If Banks is off the board by the 25th pick, the Texans could still select Josh Simmons from Ohio State. Simmons is as skilled as Banks as an offensive tackle and has a history of protecting Stroud during their mutual time at Ohio State. In fact, some experts rank Simmons above Banks. So regardless of what the Chiefs plan on doing in the draft, there's still value to be found by targeting an offensive lineman at the 25th pick. And now, Chiefs fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but your opinion matters a lot for Chiefs. I'll be back any moment with more Chiefs Kingdom news.